Walters Sports Bar is available for private events. Visit waltersdc.com/private events for more information.
Whether you're a world-class athlete or a podcaster like me, we all understand the importance of mental and physical well-being and proper recovery for top-notch performance. That's why I'm excited that Unified Healing is sponsoring this podcast. Unified Healing is a new and super innovative global network of wellness centers powered by Energy Enhancement System, or EE System. If you haven't heard of the EE System, you'll want to listen up. This technology promotes wellness, deep relaxation, purification, and rejuvenation. At hundreds of locations across the globe, access to a center is easy and affordable. Interested in experiencing the EE System technology for yourself? Go to unifiedhealing.com/bluewire to learn more and find a center near you. That's unifydhealing.com/bluewire. No material or testimonials on the Unified Healing website are intended to be viewed as medical advice or a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment and before undertaking a new healthcare regimen, including EE System.
Now the pitch. Swinging a ground ball, chopped up the third base line, fair ball. Senzel has it, long throw to Meneses, too late. Fortes beats the play, a run scores with Anderson touching home plate. Over to third goes Myers, and the Marlins are on the board first here in the second, 1-0. Between innings, looked like there was, well,
a little bit of a disagreement between Nick Senzel and MacKenzie Gore, and the teammates interceded. Cameras caught it. Swinging a ground ball toward the middle. That is going to be through past the diving second baseman. A base hit. Winker scores. So will Rosario. 2 runs are home. Meneses makes it 5-1 Nationals. That is 6 hits in a row. Gore retoes the rubber. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He winds, kicks, and delivers. Swing and a miss. He got him. That's 10 strikeouts. Down he goes on the curveball. MacKenzie Gore punches out 10 Marlins. 3rd time this season, 7th career, double-digit strikeout game for MacKenzie Gore. And that's it. What a way to finish it off.
And welcome to Nats Chat for Saturday, June 15th, 2024. I'm Al Galdi, host of the Al Galdi Podcast. Mark Zuckerman is off for this installment of the podcast. Do not worry, we are not fighting. This is not a MacKenzie Gore, Nick Senzel situation. They, on Friday evening, were fighting, but their fighting came in a Nationals win, an 8-1 win over the Miami Marlins at Nationals Park in Game 1 of a 3-game series. This was a game in which the Nats scored 7 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. The Nats now have won 6 of their last 7 games, and for this 2024 MLB regular season now are 33-36. The Marlins, they now, for this regular season, are a National League worst 23-46. Coming up later in the show, an update on the Nats' AA affiliate, the Harrisburg Senators, from the radio voice of the Senators, Terry Byrom. Speaking of AA Harrisburg, Nats starting pitcher Josiah Gray, he on Friday evening for Harrisburg made a minor league rehab start, 1 run in 4 innings in a 2-1 win over the Bowie Bay Sox. This was Gray's 2nd start in his minor league rehab assignment. He for the Single-A Fredericksburg Nationals this past Sunday, June 9th, allowed 3 runs in 3 innings. Gray has been on the 15-day injured list since April 9th, retroactive to April 6th, with a right elbow/right forearm flexor strain. So yes, MacKenzie Gore and Nick Senzel. Let's first establish this. MacKenzie Gore on Friday evening was great. That is what matters the most from this game, not this incident with Nick Senzel. Gore allowed 1 run in 7 innings with 10 strikeouts versus 1 walk. He gave up just 5 hits, which were a double and 4 singles. He did issue a hit by pitch and a wild pitch and did commit a throwing error, but he threw a lot of strikes. 103 pitches, 71 strikes versus just 32 balls, and he was pitch efficient. We know that pitch efficiency has been an issue for MacKenzie Gore, but he in this game, 103 pitches over 7 innings. That works out to 14.71 pitches per inning. Gore came into this game averaging 18.15 pitches per inning for this regular season. MacKenzie Gore in this game pitched like an ace, and you look at what he's done now in this regular season, 14 starts, ERA of 3.24, whip of 132, a strikeouts per 9 innings of 10.92. The Marlins, yes, are horrible, but Gore on Friday evening was really good. But yeah, there was the incident. Gore in the top of the second allowed a run on a 2-out RBI infield single by Nick Fortes on a high hopper to another Nick, third baseman Nick Senzel, for a 1-0 lead, despite Fortes having been down in the count at 1.02. Now, Senzel on the grounder did seem to move a bit slowly on the transition from glove to throw. And it was after this half inning that there was this incident between MacKenzie Gore and Nick Senzel in the Nats dugout. Gore went to talk to Senzel, and Senzel then pushed Gore, and the two were separated. Lane Thomas got between Gore and Senzel, and then Jesse Winker escorted Gore away. We don't know exactly what was said. My thinking is that Gore was not happy with the, shall we say, urgency of Nick Senzel on that Nick Fortes grounder. Nats manager Davey Martinez, during his postgame press conference on Friday night, got asked about the incident. Here's what Davey said, and then you'll hear a follow-up exchange.
All I'll tell you is, I don't know if you got any brothers, right? I mean, hey, I fought my brothers every day. It's part of it. When you're around each other a little bit, I love it. It's the competitive nature of them, and what they did after that was awesome. So the rest of it will stay in our circle. They hug each other. Like I said, it's not the first time I've seen that happen. I can tell you this: I've been on some really good teams where guys get after it, and everything was okay. So, like I said before, this is a competitive game, and sometimes within one another, it gets that way. And but they worked it out, and they were good. They hugged each other, and it's all good.
All right. It's all good. Well, look, things like what happened on Friday evening between MacKenzie Gore and Nick Senzel do happen in sports, right? We have seen stuff like this go down. The key is for stuff like this to happen once in a while, as opposed to happening with regularity. And this kind of thing with the Nats does not happen with regularity. Davey Martinez runs a good clubhouse. That is maybe Davey's greatest strength. And we know that Gore is feisty and competitive and critical. MacKenzie Gore is critical of himself. He is a driven person. He wants to be great. He is hard on himself. And so it's not surprising that he might be hard on others. What happened on Friday evening was reminiscent of another incident involving MacKenzie Gore. Gore and then Nats center fielder Victor Robles. This in a 9-3 loss to the St. Louis Cardinals at Nationals Park, actually nearly 1 year ago, exactly, June 20th, 2023. Do you remember this?
Obviously, you guys are talking about MacKenzie and Robles. They talked about it. We talked about it. It's good. As far as I'm concerned, it's good. So it happens. We're trying to compete. It happens.
Gore, in the top of the second of that game, gave up a 1-out single by Jordan Walker to the right center field gap on a ball that fell right in front of Robles, who was playing very deep and seemed to be hampered by his back. Gore, after giving up the single, seemingly gave Robles a death stare, and then Gore and Robles had what appeared to be a brief but heated discussion in the Nats dugout after the end of the inning. Ildemaro Vargas was among those who stepped in between Gore and Robles. So there is a bit of a history of this happening with MacKenzie Gore. We later in the Davey Martinez postgame press conference on Friday night had this exchange.
MacKenzie and Nick were able to move on from it. Ideally, though, is that something that you hope is kind of more of a private conversation, or is it?
Well, like I said, it sometimes you'd hope that it's private. Sometimes it can't be. It really can't. So I sat back and watched. They'll work it out. Good teams usually work it out. And I know these guys are close. I see them every day. So they worked it out. And it was good. And MacKenzie went about his business, and Nick went about his business, and everything's good.
Well, the best thing about this incident between MacKenzie Gore and Nick Senzel is this. Former Nats closer Jonathan Papelbon. He of the infamous dugout incident with then Nats outfielder Bryce Harper in September 2015. Papelbon on Friday night in a quote post on X of the video of the Gore Senzel incident, wrote, quote, "Boys, it's a lot better if you just take the fight to the tunnel. Trust me, I have already learned this lesson," end quote. Now that was funny. Way to go, Jonathan Papelbon, showing a great sense of humor, as then Nats outfielder Jason Worth christened Jonathan Papelbon super late in that 2015 regular season. The DC Strangler has struck again. But yeah, don't lose sight of the terrific performance that MacKenzie Gore put forth on Friday evening. More from Davey Martinez during his post-game press conference on Friday night on Gore.
This is something we talked about at the end of last year, that he needs to be able to control his heartbeat and control his emotions when he's out there, especially when things look like it's going to unravel. Stay focused on the next pitch, and he's done that. He's done that really well. So, and he's pitching really good. So, but I think if we can harness that emotion, that aggression, you're looking at an all-star. He definitely could be an all-star. So, but he's done a great job, and he knows when he goes through it, and he talks about it, which is great. And but I love the fact that he wants to go out and compete and win every day.
He was at around 90 pitches, I think, going into that last inning. The way he was economical, how encouraging was that?
It was awesome. Today we thought we could pencil in for 105 pitches because he gets an extra day. So he was, I think, at 103. So it worked out perfect. But the fact that he was able to go out there the last couple of innings, get some quick outs, definitely helped.
Yes, it did. An eventful game for MacKenzie Gore on Friday evening, but also a very good game.
From groan-worthy dad jokes to patching up skinned knees, your dad is one of a kind. This Father's Day, give him a gift that is guaranteed to take him to his happy place. Omaha Steaks. Order mouth-watering gift packages starting at just $89 when you go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code NATSCHAT at checkout. Each package is backed by their unconditional money-back guarantee. Show your dad the love he deserves with a gift as unforgettable as he is. Visit omahasteaks.com, promo code NATSCHAT at checkout.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 5 million members. It's the most fun and exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats for your shot to win up to 100 times your cash. I made my first $10 deposit and received an instant $10 bonus. And if you have the skills, you can play for a shot of turning your $10 into $1,000. And playoff time is the best time to join the Prize Picks community of over 5 million members who have already downloaded the app. Prize Picks is available in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Download the app today and use the code BLUEWIRE for a first deposit match up to $100. That's a first deposit match of up to $100 when you download the app and use the code BLUEWIRE. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
And he bats for the second time in the inning with the bases loaded. Here it comes. Swing, it's poked in the air, shallow left, it's falling, it's down for a base hit. Meneses scores. Garcia to the plate, the long throw off balance is offline by De La Cruz. Garcia slides in safely, and Abrams drives in 2 more. Senzel holds at second. The Nationals have a touchdown in this inning. It's 7-1.
The Nats offense in this 8-1 win over the Marlins on Friday evening. 8 runs, 13 hits, which were a home run, 2 doubles, and 10 singles, 2 walks, 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position. 7 of the Nats' 8 runs, 8 of the Nats' 13 hits, and 1 of the Nats' 2 walks came in a 7-run third inning. This Nats 7-run third really was something. The Nats in the 7-run third totaled 8 hits and a walk. The Nats began the 7-run third with 7 consecutive hits, and 5 of the Nats' 8 hits in the 7-run third were first pitch hits. Also, this marked the Nats' second 7-run inning in a week. The Nats, in their 8-5 win over the Atlanta Braves at Nationals Park this past Sunday afternoon, scored 7 runs in the bottom of the 4th, and thanks in large part to 2 big first pitch hits in that inning. Keibert Ruiz had a 2-out first pitch, 3-run homer to right field for a 4-2 Nats lead, and CJ Abrams had a 2-out first pitch, bases loaded, 3-run double to right field for a 7-2 Nats lead. So the Nats in these 7-run innings have been served quite well by first pitch hits. Davey Martinez, during his post-game press conference on Friday night on the Nats' offensive aggressiveness in this game, and then you'll hear a follow-up exchange.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. We've talked a lot about, and I always talk about this. Hey, you don't want to fall behind. It's hard enough to hit, but to hit with 2 strikes all the time is tough, But be aggressive with balls in the strike zone, and we did that today. I mean, we really got the ball in the zone. We were trying to look for the ball up a little bit, and we stayed on the ball. And we got a lot of base hits the other way, up the middle. It was a good day offensively.
Seeing that sort of aggression, is that something you feel like can kind of carry into future games?
As long as it's we're aggressive. Sometimes we get overly aggressive. We swing at too many balls. We got to stop chasing. When we get the ball in the zone, we hit the ball hard.
Well, most major league teams have very good offensive numbers when putting first pitches in play. The Nats fit this trend. They, for this regular season, have the following team slash line on first pitches: a batting average of .342, an on-base percentage of .351, a slugging percentage of .508. Some offensive standouts for the Nats in this 8-1 win over the Marlins on Friday evening. Lane Thomas, he is the Nats' starting right fielder and number 2 batter, went 2 for 5 with a 3-run homer and a single. Thomas, in the bottom of the first, had a one-out opposite field single to right field, and Thomas, in that Nats' 7-run third, had a first pitch 3-run homer off the left field foul pole for a 3-1 Nats lead. It was on Memorial Day, Monday afternoon, May 27th, that the Nats announced having reinstated Lane Thomas from the 10-day injured list, which he had been on since April 24th with a sprained left MCL. The Nats, since reinstating Lane Thomas from the 10-day IL, are 10-8. I'll let you decide if that is causation or correlation, but that record does stand out, 10-8, since Lane Thomas came off the 10-day IL. A very good game for CJ Abrams. He is the Nats starting shortstop and number 1 batter, got on base 4 times. He went 3 for 4 with a double, a 2-run single, another single, and a walk. Abrams, in the bottom of the first, had a leadoff double to the right field corner, although he then was thrown out in an attempt to stretch the double into a triple. But Abrams, in the Nats' 7-run third, had 2 hits. Not 1 hit, 2 hits. He had a first pitch infield single up the middle, and he later in the inning had a 2-out first pitch opposite field, a 2-run single to left field for a 7-1 Nats lead. So Abrams, in that 7-run third, had not just 2 hits, but 2 first pitch hits. Abrams, in a Nats 1-run 6, drew a 5-pitch walk. CJ Abrams now is having a terrific June. Batting average of .300, on base percentage of .378, a slugging percentage of .600. Jesse Winker, the Nats on base machine. He is the Nats starting left fielder and number 3 batter, went 2 for 4 with an RBI single and an infield single. Winker, in the Nats 7-run third, had a first pitch infield single up the middle, and Winker, in the Nats 1-run 6, had a 1-out RBI single into center field for an 8-1 Nats lead, and Winker, on the single, advanced to second base thanks to a fielding error by Marlins center fielder Jazz Chisholm Jr. Your Jesse Winker on base percentage for this regular season now at .376. Luis Garcia Jr., he is the Nats starting second baseman and number 6 batter, went 2 for 4 with 2 singles. Jacob Young, he is the Nats starting center fielder and number 9 batter, went 2 for 4 with 2 singles. Joey Meneses, he is the Nats starting first baseman and number 5 batter, went 1 for 4 with a 2-run single. Meneses, in the Nats 7-run third, had a first pitch, a 2-run single up the middle for a 5-1 Nats lead. Joey Meneses now in 3 games as the Nats starting first baseman since first baseman Joey Gallo this past Wednesday morning was placed on the 10-day injured list with a left hamstring strain, is 5 for 11 with 3 doubles, a 2-run single, an RBI single, and 2 walks. Not bad. The only Nats position player who played in this game who did not get on base in this game was Keibert Ruiz. He is the Nats starting catcher and number 7 batter, went 0 for 4, dropping his OPS for this regular season to a woeful 518. The Nats bullpen in this 8-1 win over the Marlins on Friday evening. 2 Nats relievers combined for 2 scoreless innings. Jacob Barnes tossed a scoreless top of the 8th, and Jordan Weems, who had been struggling, he tossed a scoreless top of the 9th. Some more from Davey Martinez from his post-game press conference on Friday night. This on the game as a whole, beginning with the Nats offense.
Love it. I love the way we hit the ball pretty good today. Today was about MacKenzie, pitching his butt off. But the boys came out swinging best today. We did everything right offensively. We needed that. Our bullpen has been beat up a little bit, so for him to give us 7 innings like that, strong innings, it was great. Also, like the way Weems, came back after struggling so much, throwing strikes. We're talking to him, working on some mechanical stuff with him, but he did okay today. So hopefully, we get him back straightened out.
Yeah, and you think about the nature of this game. The MacKenzie Gore, Nick Senzel incident happens in the middle of the second inning, and then the Nats, not long after that, bust out with a 7-run third inning. I'll go back to the Lane Thomas 10-8 record conversation of earlier in the program. Causation, correlation, who knows? But the timing is interesting, right? Perhaps the Gore-Senzel scenario fired up the Nats, ignited something within the Nats. Who knows? Game 2 for the Nats against the Marlins Saturday afternoon at 4:05. DJ Herz will be the Nats starting pitcher. I am interested to see how Herz does. It was on June 4th that the Nats announced that they had recalled Herz from AAA Rochester. This is the corresponding roster move to placing starting pitcher Trevor Williams on the 15-day injured list, retroactive to June 1st with a right flexor muscle strain. Herz has since made 2 starts, seen a 6-3 loss to the New York Mets at Nationals Park on June 4th in his Major League regular season debut, officially allowed 4 runs in 4 innings, and then Herz in an 8-5 win over the Atlanta Braves at Nationals Park last Sunday afternoon, June 9th, allowed 2 runs in 4 and a third innings. He has yet to truly do well. If he has a 3rd consecutive start in which he does not do well, you do wonder if it might be Herz and not Patrick Corbin, who is out of the Nats rotation once Josiah Gray is ready to be back in the rotation. Now, trust me, I want the guy out of the rotation to be Corbin and not Herz. But Herz has to earn that spot in the rotation to at least some degree. He, per MLB Pipeline, is the Nats' number 4 pitching prospect and number 12 overall prospect. You tell us what you think. You can hit us up on X at Nats_chat. You can email the show, natschatpodcast@gmail.com. We have a website that we invite you to check out, natschatpodcast.com, at which you can buy a Nats Chat Podcast t-shirt. All Nationals radio highlights on Nats Chat are courtesy of 106.7 The Fan. I'm Al Galdi. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next time on the Nats Chat Podcast, and we leave you now with an update on the Nats AA affiliate, the Harrisburg Senators, from the radio voice of the Senators, the great Terry Byrom.
The best way to learn a language? Immersion. Living where the language is spoken and using it every day. But if that's not in the cards this year, you could still learn a language the second best way, and that's with Babbel. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Here's a special deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners for a limited time at babbel.com/natschat. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/natschat. That's spelled BABBEL.com/natschat. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Hi Nats fans, this is Tim Newmark, DC area composer, longtime Nationals fan, and proud composer of the Nats Chat podcast theme song. If you're enjoying the music and would like to hear more, check out timnewmark.com/streaming or just search for Tim Newmark wherever you listen to music. To find the rest of the song you're hearing now, search for the title Double in the Sun. Go Nats!
Tim Shover's here to tell you about Game Time. This summer at the Anthem, shows include The Struts, Black Eyed Peas, and Shaky Graves. If you're interested in finding tickets to any of these shows, make sure to check out the Game Time app. Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you the complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Buy tickets in seconds with 2 taps. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code NATSCHAT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code NATSCHAT for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
There's the 2-2, and it's hit high in the air, out into right center field. Retreating is Frazier. He makes the catch. Tagging is Tosta. It's Fox, pardon me. He scores, and the ball game is over. Jacob Young on the 2-2 pitch hits the sacrifice fly.
The Harrisburg Senators begin play Thursday night, 33-26, and with 10 games remaining in the first half, the Senators are in second place in the Southwest Division, trailing the Akron Rubber Ducks and Erie Seawolves, who are tied for first by 1 game. The Senators' pitching staff leads the way. They're third in the Eastern League in ERA at 3.42. Not to be outdone, the Senators' defense also paces the Eastern League, and as a team, they've made the league's fewest errors. Offensively, the Senators have been led by Dylan Cruz, who increased his season RBI total to 36 with a 2 RBI single Wednesday night. His 36 RBIs are tied for 5th most in the league. With runners in scoring position, he's even better. Cruz is batting .373, the 4th best in the league, to go along with 34 RBIs and 10 extra base hits. Brady House hit his team-leading 10th home run of the season Wednesday night, which is tied for 5th most in the Eastern League. It also snapped his home run drought at 17 games. Joining Cruz and House among league leaders are Dermis Garcia, who is 9th in home runs with 9. Andrew Pinckney is tied for 5th in hits with 59. Robert Hassel III is 10th in hits with 52. On the pitching side, Brad Lord, who tossed 7 outstanding innings Wednesday, is first in earned run average at 1.55 and tied for first in wins with 7.
Watson, the right-hander, sets and deals. And that is lined to right, a base hit. Pineda scores. Wilson is around third, heading home. The throw is off the line, off mark. Scoring is Wilson.